Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Adnan and on this channel we talk about spirituality and philosophy and about a new perspective upon life and how you can change your perspective on life. So in this video I wanted to talk about the concept of sin, and I know that to a lot of people, especially those who are trained in a scientific perspective, are not really going to be able to grasp this concept of sin or grasp this concept of karma or anything like morality is ungraspable by a person who is strongly embedded in a scientific education or who is an intellectual of some sort. But I know that a lot of people believe in sin, they believe in karma, they believe in, at least they abide by the moral laws of the society with with a purpose that is more higher than simply abiding. But I want to talk about in this topic, in this concept of sin, I wanted to talk about the psychological implications and the effects of sin that can happen on the human mind. Now, you see, there is a there is a belief on morality that goes since ages. We have always believed in morality, and the religions may have been wrong about certain things, like especially scientific things, but they also grasped at certain laws that are, especially the laws that govern the subjective experience of the human being. Certainly, they might have been wrong about the objective material laws, they might have been wrong about the laws of physics. For example, many scientists have been prosecuted by the church or by the religious groups and organizations. But you see, the religious leaders upon which these religions are built upon were wise enough and aware enough to understand a few laws about this human life. And one of these laws is morality. And I think morality is a law that is related to this uh, this psychological aspect of what you call a human being. You see, the world is becoming very immoral these days, and I don't mean to complain, I don't mean to say that at all. But you see, people are not realizing that morality is actually a law, that goodness can actually bring peace into your life and can give you happiness. It can actually help you enhance your peace and light in your life. It can help you enhance love in your life. It can help you feel divinity in your life and help you feel satisfied with what you have. Of course, this does not mean that you will become like a like an ascetic or leave the world and not enter into the world of business or politics. It simply means that you will be satisfied, and through this satisfaction comes the ability to make right decisions, to make decisions for the betterment of humanity rather than making decisions for selfish goals, for goals that will give you the hope of happiness, but you know that they are not going to get you real happiness. Now, a lot of people are thinking that morality is somehow false because is starting to prove a lot of the religious uh, rituals as nonsense. Science is trying to get to the whys of a lot of religious experiences, and is also proving a lot of them wrong. It is true, especially the Abrahamic religions, which are based on rituals and which are very old in nature, which are based on rituals and extensive practice of these rituals. It is it is starting to crumble. The whole religions of, especially the Abrahamic religions, are starting to crumble, and a new certain kind of a new religion is uh, starting, which is also called spirituality, and which is connected to Hinduism and maybe even Buddhism and Jainism, because these do not rely on your belief on God. And since science has proven that there are certain laws that are governing this universe, and these laws are automatic in nature, that is, they run by themselves. A lot of people are becoming atheistic, and there is no need to believe that God is somehow running the universe. But you see, religions like Buddhism and Jainism and Hinduism, certain aspects of it at least, are, are atheistic. They are not dependent upon your belief of whether God exists or not. And so these religions are striving and people are looking more deeper into it. But you see, all of the religions what they have in common is the is karma. They believe in the moral law that is all pervading the universe. They believe that if you commit a sin, you are going to you are going to suffer for it, unfortunately. And in this video, I simply wanted to point out a few of the psychological aspects of these sins. The first sin that I want to talk about is lying. Lying will always make you paranoid, and the more you lie, the more you become paranoid. You'll create a hell for yourself in your mind, in your mental realm. You will always, you will never be trusted by people. It will make you feel as if you're not, you're looking back, looking behind your back at everything. Lying, lying can make you distrustful of people. You will also always be on the lookout for people who are lying, even though they might be really right. And it also creates a lot of issues in your social relationships and in your family dynamics. You have probably experienced this yourself and have come to conclusions about lying and why it is important to say the truth. I wanted to tell the young people of our generation that lying can cultivate anxiety inside your hearts, that it can lead you towards more escapism. Lying is the root of all sins, and eventually, as you see that you are able to simply lie to get out of situations, you'll start doing it more and more, and eventually, you'll fall into thievery, you'll fall into deceptions, and maybe even become a robber one day. See, there was a movie called, well, it was a franchise, a huge blockbuster movie based on a group of robbers. And these movies sell a lot, and people enjoy watching them. And the the cunning masterminds in the movie, the robbers, are somehow intelligent. They are somehow seen as intelligent people, and these characters are seen as intelligent and cunning and deceiving. When in fact, this is a completely wrong view that is being given to a lot of young people. Now, I'm not going trying to go against your freedom of speech or your freedom of expression here, but it is important that people realize what intelligence actually is, what wisdom actually is, and separate these two things so that you can actually move further in your investigations. Lying and deception and robbery and thievery is only going to lead you towards mental anxiety, mental paranoia, and mistrusting people. It is also going to lead you towards making a hell for yourself. So remember that whenever you start a conversation with a lie, that relationship is not going to sustain long. It is going to crumble as soon as your lies are being caught. And the more you portray yourself and are seen as a liar, you will eventually be you will eventually be devastated. Moving on to other sins, especially the sins that are committed these days uh, with the age of social media, I see a rise in sex out of marriage. Now, sex in general makes a person dumb. This is a huge statement that I am making here, but I need you to understand this, that a man or a woman has a power inside them to choose the partner of the highest intelligence. And if you adopt celibacy, you will move higher and evolve your intelligence so that you match with those people who are more intelligent. Whereas if you indulge in sex in, in sex out of marriage, which requires literally nothing from your part, it requires you to simply show up and talk for a few moments, and then you are probably at each other's houses in your bedrooms, and this is this is a this is a very bad outlook on life, which is being promoted everywhere. And you see, in this day and age of social media, it is very easy to find a partner of your interest, of what you are looking for. And most of you have probably even tried or attempted to go on these sites and these apps that we have here in this world, and it is very easy to simply be with a woman or be with a man. This is only creating a global pandemic. It is only creating a global issue. And of course, there will be a lot of people who will be against what I'm saying, but you must understand that there was a reason why the sages and the prophets and the Buddhas have always stressed on morality. Even in spirituality, we see that we always take what is beneficial for us and we leave the hard parts. When we come to the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, I see that a lot of people come here to India to learn yoga, which is very good, but they are not educated on the most basic aspects of yoga, which is yama and niyama. See, yama and niyama are the root of all religions, the rules and regulations that you must follow, that you must abide by to lead a peaceful, naturally peaceful life is the basic step that you must take, a commitment that you must make with this universe, and you must abide by this law, by, by the rules and regulations. At least try to be aware of these things that you may have been doing by mistake. See, a lot of people are creating psychological hell for themselves and are wondering what has happened to them. They are thinking that psychologists can help them, or that certain pills can help them reduce their depression or anxiety or a crisis in their lives. But really, if you simply abide by moral laws, you will be able to live a peaceful and virtuous life. Aristotle Aristotle has stated this years, thousands of years ago, and yet we, in this age, are forgetting the most basic things that our philosophers have talked about. Now, you see, the scientific revolution is partly to be blamed for this, to to make a materialistic lens inside the young people, and also the democratic textbooks are also partly to be blamed for this. But you see, moral law is not being taught as much as science is being taught or technology is being taught. Social social laws, psychological laws are not being taught as much as science or technology is being taught. Simply because science and technology gives you monetary gains in the future, gives you financial gains in the future. We are not training our children, we are not training our youth for ethics or for philosophy. We are training them for money and for financial gains. There is a power in holding your celibacy. There's a power in holding yourself accountable and being moral. You see, it gives you a voice, it gives you a strength from inside, it gives you courage from inside, and it helps you be confident about yourself. A sinner will never be confident in the world. His confidence is a certain facade that he is trying to play. A sinner's or a person's, or especially a criminal's, ego is a facade. He will break any moment, and I have seen people break down in jails and in prisons. I have seen people turn towards religion, criminals and lawbreakers who thought they were intelligent, who thought that they would outsmart the government, outsmart the moral law. I have seen them turn towards spirituality, turn towards religion, because they had understood after, unfortunately, too late. But hey, moving towards spirituality is never too late. Moving towards God is never too late, and enhancing your spiritual consciousness and moving towards divine consciousness is never too late. Even if you are in prison, and if you move towards, if you glimpse the law, if you are able to see the law for yourself, not in a book or not sent by God, if you are able to be wise enough to see the psychological hell that you have created for yourself, then you will know. Then you will know that the moral law exists. Unfortunately, this video was probably very grim for a lot of you, and I'm sorry to say that, but you must be aware of this. You must be aware of this. At least try to educate yourself on morality. There is simply no need to even educate yourself. You know what is wrong yourself. When you commit a wrong act, you know that it is a wrong act. When you are lying, you know that it is wrong. When you are robbing people, you know that it is wrong. A lot of them confess themselves. A lot of them surrender to the government, to the police, simply because they realize that that they have done something very wrong. This has nothing to do with your religious background or your religious education. This simply has to do with you as a spiritual being, as a human being. So these are only a few of the psychological aspects of committing a sin. And thank you for taking the time out to reach this part of the video. And be sure to like and share this video if you have liked it, or to someone who you think is dear enough for you. If someone you see is depressed, going through a bad phase in their life, I highly recommend you share this video to them so that they understand the moral law that unfortunately pervades the whole universe. So, thank you and bye bye.